Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. Story number 1. There are no rules, written by Mercury the Dealer. There are no rules. That is the first thing anyone learns about the universe. Sure, you can find some patterns. Things fall towards bigger things. You need food to live. The usual. But really, most patterns just break easily. Sometimes rocks are the same size, but things fall faster towards one for no reason. Sometimes stars decide to go boom. In some places, you can breathe, and in others, you can't. Things are strange. No, the universe is weird. There are no rules. That is why the gods are there. When they all appeared on our big rocks, we, like idiots, asked for the rules. Why do things fall? Why is the sky blue? What is that big bright thing on the sky? Soon we realized that such weird things could only be gods. And we were right. Why do things fall? Because gods said so. Why is the sky blue? Because the gods live in the sky, and they like blue. What is that bright thing? That's the sun god. With our curiosity satisfied, we decided to focus on more important things, killing each other over who had the best god. That is how all species get to the wider universe. They find a god, they believe in them, and that god eventually teaches them to leave their rock. Then they appeared. Humans. We didn't really care for them at first. Just another people confined to a backwater part of the galaxy that, if well managed, could become a local great power, just by sheer lack of competition. Except, that they didn't stay confined. We didn't understand how, but they could move between stars faster than our fastest ships could ever dream of. We didn't know how they could be so fast, or how their ships worked. And the worst part is that they didn't understand how our ships worked either. They asked us how we were able to be in space. We told them that the gods had helped us build our ships and asked how their vessel worked. They told us they had no gods. They had built their ships using the rules. We told them, and that was impossible. There were no rules, and everyone had gods. They sent our envoy a copy of the rules, how their ship worked, and why they thought ours shouldn't. The captain that read it died of suffocation within seconds. The rest of the bridge followed soon, and then the entire ship. This was just the beginning. Humanity advanced through the galaxy at a disturbingly fast rate. They asked us questions which we had never had even thought about, and when they tried to explain the concepts behind the questions, we just died. How do you maintain gravity in a station without a grav generators? They asked, and the station collapsed as it lost all gravity. How do you maintain structural integrity with a hull made out of wood? They asked, and the merchant ship immediately broke apart. How do you protect yourselves from solar radiation? They asked, and the entire mining station had to be abandoned as its residents could no longer leave without burning their skin off. They told us things that made no sense. They talked about something called a collective psionic mind, how the common universal belief that something is true by a collective mind of a species manipulates reality to make it so by sheer psionic force. And that the faith in a supposedly divine entity not only makes said entity real in certain ways, but also focuses the energy of the entire species, greatly augmenting its ability to manipulate the physical world. None of us understood it, and, given the fact that human knowledge led to death, none of us wanted to understand. Humanity was soon seen by all as a major threat that none could ignore. And so, we fought them. We sent our best ships fitted with our best weapons and crew towards human territory. We studied the rules they sent and modified our fleets so that they would withstand this vacuum they liked so much. They were confused at first. They asked their stupid questions like, why do you need a sail in space, and how does 18th century cannons work in the void? But we ignored them. and advanced. They sent their border police against us and asked more questions. Why is your hull made of obsidian and gold, and how are your harpoon crews alive in the void of space? Also, why do you have harpoons in the first place? We made sure not to share the questions beyond the bridge so that the curse would not take effect. And then we attacked, and failed. Our harpoons shattered upon contact with their hulls as if they were made of glass. Our armor cracked and melted under their lasers like it was barely an inconvenience. We were crushed. The few that survived the massacre were sure that they had brought doom to us all. After that, though, the humans stopped coming. Their message was that humanity inherited anti-psionic effects mixed with a natural understanding of the laws of the universe by most of the population, as shown to be deeply detrimental to local culture and technology, with a great chance of extinction of one or more species should prolonged contact endure. Therefore, the United Nations of Sol and Centauri have decided to ban all human interaction within the designated space until further notice. That was it. Nothing more crossed the stars from their territory. A few signals were intercepted, but those were mostly gibberish. Things were back to normal after some time. There were wars and peace, trust and betrayal, crusades and treaties. But above all, there was one rule, the only rule. Don't ask the humans about the rules. End of story. Story number 2. The Imperial Suicide, written by Erebos Yeet. The Admiral stood on the bridge of his new flagship. He loved the silence before the storm. The blue planet looked so peaceful. Only a week ago, hundreds of merchant ships would have come and left. Now, they all retreated, scared of the storm, scared of him. The previous governors had been weak. They let these primitives settle on rightfully imperial planets. No more! These Terrans must be put in their place. They would be under imperial rule, or they would simply not be. Secretly, he hoped the primitives wouldn't surrender. A quick war would probably get him a triumph in front of the Emperor himself. He would become a senator. These Terrans could be the key to eternal glory. The arrival of his head of intelligence ripped him out of his daydreaming. Ah, Trokan, my friend, I assume your arrival means that they have responded. Trokan was a lot smaller than the Admiral, who was a descendant from one of the first species conquered by the Empire. Slowly, they'd gained full citizenship, and now were in charge of most of the intellectual parts of the Imperial system. They have, sir. It doesn't seem like they will surrender. The Vice Admiral started smiling, but none were as happy as the Admiral himself. You bring good news, Trokan. I might just hug you, you little rat.
Thank you, sir.
Play us the message, dear Trokan.
Yes, sir.
One of the Terrans appeared on the big screens all around the bridge. It was a military time. She seemed incredibly tired, yet fierce, as she proclaimed her answer.
Dear Great Emperor, product of incest, your message has been received. Pray to your gods, pray and weep when you find their corpses. Pray and weep as we desecrate your temples. Pray and weep as your places are covered in blood of your generals. Pray and weep as you are hanged from your throne. And while you choke, you can find solace in the knowledge that your name will be remembered. Not the way you would like it, mind you. Your former subjects will spit on your grave. They will celebrate the day you perished. They will remember you as nothing but the Fecker defeated by humanity. Despair as we show your people. Despair as they forge alliances. Despair as a new order becomes greater than your empire will ever be. Despair as everything you have accomplished is replaced by something better. We know your kind, despots. We have killed them all. We will take pleasure in killing another. May your wives strangle you in your sleep. Outpost 76. The bridge was silent, in suspension. Everyone looked at the Admiral. He kept silent, his eyes still focused on the beautifully silent planet. Sir, Outpost 76. Excuse me, sir? Outpost 76. How many do they have, Drogon? We're not sure, sir. This is only an outpost. An outpost! There are millions of Terrans here. Sir, they might be bluffing, sir. They might miss this. They might this, that. I need facts. The Emperor will not accept reckless behavior. If this takes more resources than expected, his rage will descend on all of us. Sir, I think that they are I know. Don't repeat yourself, you moron. You said that they had less than 9 bases. Do you have proof of that? Sir, their technology simply does not seem advanced enough to... Do you have proof? No, sir. We have found 3 colonized planets, but we suspect there are about 5 more. You suspect? Yes, sir. You have a day to get your affairs in order. Tomorrow, this time, you will kill yourself. Yes, sir. Get out! Long live the Emperor, sir. Get out! The Admiral stared at the blue planet with hate in his eyes, his breath short in anger. His claws had made deep scratches where his hand had lain on the glass. These humans were going to die. All of them. But without reliable intel, the next Imperial Suicide could be his own. God fucking damn it! Delay of execution it is, he whispered under his breath. Turn the fleet around, goddammit! His voice bellowed through the bridge as his inferiors sprung into action. And get me a new head of intelligence! As the fleet returned to its base, down on the blue planet, a general smiled. But she too knew there was only a delay. And when the first merchant ships once again departed the planet, so did her messengers. They were sent to all human governments and alien allies. They carried but 3 sentences. Set all plans in motion. The Emperor must die. The Empire must fall. End of story. The algorithm reckons you should be watching this video next, and I recommend that you should be always watching my videos. So, click with energy! And yes, clicking that does help the channel. Thank you very much.
I just quickly want to thank the Tier 5 patrons and channel members: Alithia Barkey, Cam Maxwell, Caspar Arnholtz, Albarden Guster, Arcadian, Lord Azrakal, and Joachim Backer.